Zion Williamson entered the NBA as a once-in-a-generation talent, hailed as the next LeBron James and the savior of the New Orleans Pelicans.
Off the heel, but Brandon's got a second chance. How about that pass to Zion? Yes!
His explosive athleticism and dominance at Duke promised a future filled with championships and stardom. Yet, after a few seasons in the NBA, Zion's career has unraveled. Plagued by injuries, fitness issues, and questions about his dedication, Zion has become a symbol of disappointment.
Zion went down, looked like he hyperextended his leg. He is down, slipped, perhaps some perspiration on the floor. And
how did this beloved prodigy fall so far, so fast? Zion Williamson's basketball journey started with an impact that few players ever achieved. As a high schooler, Zion became a viral sensation thanks to highlight mixtapes showcasing his jaw-dropping dunks, unmatched speed, and overwhelming dominance against his peers. His physical gifts were extraordinary. Standing at 6'6" and weighing over 280 pounds, he moved like a guard but dominated like a big man. Averaging 36 points and 11 rebounds per game in high school, he quickly earned a reputation as one of the most exciting young players in the sport. When Zion joined Duke University, the buzz surrounding him skyrocketed. In his freshman year, he averaged an impressive 22 points per game while shooting a ridiculous 68% from the field. His performances weren't just about the numbers, they were about how he played the game. He broke records such as earning the highest player efficiency rating, PR, in college basketball history and became the first freshman to win the ACC Player of the Year award. From fast break dunks to explosive blocks, Zion turned every game into a spectacle. His presence wasn't just felt on the court, it electrified college basketball fans across the world. Zion's transition to the NBA was nothing short of historic. In the 2019 NBA Draft, the New Orleans Pelicans selected him with the first overall pick.
With the first pick in the 2019 NBA Draft, the New Orleans Pelicans select Zion Williamson from Duke University.
For a franchise still recovering from losing superstar Anthony Davis, Zion was seen as a savior, a player who could bring championship aspirations to New Orleans. The hype wasn't just limited to local fans. Across the league, analysts and commentators were already comparing Zion to some of basketball's greatest names, from LeBron James to Charles Barkley. The expectations weren't just high, they were astronomical. Zion wasn't only expected to dominate on the court, but to be the face of the league's next generation. His unique combination of power, speed, and athleticism made people believe he was capable of redefining the forward position. Fans imagined highlight reels, playoff battles, and championship banners, while brands lined up with lucrative endorsement deals to cash in on his marketability. As Zion entered the NBA, the media machine around him was relentless. Coverage of his games and workouts was constant. Whether it was his preseason appearances or moments of brilliance in college, the sports world couldn't get enough of him. Articles and TV segments debated if Zion could live up to or even surpass the impact of legends like LeBron James. Social media posts celebrated his incredible dunks and sheer physical dominance. Fans weren't just excited, they were emotionally invested in Zion's success. He was the reason arenas sold out and television ratings surged when he played. The belief was that Zion wouldn't just be great, he'd redefine greatness. Yet this intense spotlight came with immense pressure. Every small setback, injury, or performance was magnified, and as the years unfolded, it became clear that the lofty expectations surrounding Zion were both a blessing and a curse. Zion Williamson's career has been defined as much by his absence as by his presence on the court. Since entering the NBA, Zion has struggled to stay healthy, missing over 60% of the games he was eligible to play. His list of injuries includes a torn meniscus during his rookie year, recurring hamstring issues, and persistent foot problems. Each of these setbacks has not only disrupted his career, but also the hopes of the New Orleans Pelicans, who built their team around him as their franchise star. These injuries have robbed Zion of the chance to build momentum. In basketball, rhythm and consistency are crucial, but Zion's constant time off has made it difficult for him to achieve either. For the Pelicans, his injuries have thrown team chemistry into chaos, forcing other players like Brandon Ingram and CJ McCollum to carry the load without their star player. The lack of Zion's availability has also hurt the team's long-term planning, as it's hard to develop strategies around a player who isn't consistently on the court. Another significant issue that has compounded Zion's struggles is his weight and conditioning. Entering the NBA at around 285 pounds, he was one of the heaviest players in the league, despite being just 6'6". While his size and strength are key parts of his game, they also put tremendous pressure on his knees, feet, and other joints, increasing his risk of injury. Critics, including fans and analysts, have been vocal about his need to improve his fitness. Stephen A. Smith once remarked that Zion looked out of shape and even compared him to someone who had just left a buffet. The constant scrutiny over his weight has added to the narrative that Zion lacks discipline, with some questioning whether he's fully committed to maintaining his physical condition. Fans have expressed frustration, often pointing out how other stars, like LeBron James, have prioritized fitness to extend their careers and remain dominant. Despite having access to world-class trainers, nutritionists, and medical staff, Zion's struggles with fitness have persisted. Reports of weight gain during injury recoveries have further damaged his reputation, with fans wondering if he's putting in the necessary effort to stay in shape. Zion's career seems trapped in a frustrating pattern. He often starts a season strong, showing flashes of his incredible talent and reminding fans why he was such a hyped prospect. However, after just a few weeks or months, injuries strike again. He's forced to sit out, and by the time he returns, he appears out of shape and struggles to regain his form. This cycle has not only frustrated fans, but also his teammates, who have had to adjust to playing without him time and time again. The Pelicans, once seen as a rising team with Zion at the center, have struggled to achieve consistency because their star player is so often unavailable. Zion Williamson's talent is undeniable, and when he's on the court, he has shown flashes of being one of the most dominant players in the NBA. During his second season, Zion was selected as an all-star, averaging an impressive 27 points per game on over 60% shooting. His unique combination of size, strength, and agility made him a nightmare for defenders, and he seemed poised to become one of the league's next great superstars. Fans were treated to highlight reel moments, such as his explosive dunks, unstoppable drives to the basket, and even a stretch of 25 consecutive games scoring at least 20 points while shooting over 50%. These performances reminded everyone why Zion was so highly hyped coming out of Duke. For a brief time, it felt like the sky was the limit. However, these brilliant moments are overshadowed by Zion's limited availability, playing only 45% of games since his debut. His career has been more about what-ifs than consistent success. While his performances have been exciting, they fall short of expectations when considering how infrequently he has been able to deliver them. At this point in his career, Zion's achievements pale in comparison to other NBA stars who entered the league with similar hype. Luka Doncic, drafted just a year before Zion, has already made multiple All-NBA teams and led the Dallas Mavericks deep into the playoffs. LeBron James, by his fourth year, had taken the Cleveland Cavaliers to the NBA Finals, while Kevin Durant had reached the finals with the Oklahoma City Thunder by his fifth season. Zion, on the other hand, has yet to play in a single playoff game. Despite being hailed as a generational talent, his contributions have been sporadic and his impact on the Pelicans' success minimal. The comparisons to these players highlight how far Zion has fallen short of the immense expectations placed on him when he entered the league. For fans and analysts, Zion's career trajectory has been a source of deep disappointment. Once seen as the future face of the NBA, his narrative has shifted dramatically. What was once excitement over his potential has turned into frustration over his lack of discipline, his inability to stay healthy, and his perceived lack of commitment to the game. The media, once Zion's biggest cheerleader, has become increasingly critical. Analysts like Stephen A. Smith and JJ Redick have openly questioned Zion's dedication to the sport and his fitness. Fans too have voiced their dissatisfaction, often comparing him unfavorably to players who have achieved more with less hype. Zion Williamson was expected to be the cornerstone of the New Orleans Pelicans, a franchise savior capable of leading the team to greatness. Instead, his inconsistent availability has left the Pelicans in a perpetual state of flux. Zion's injuries, which have caused him to miss more games than he's played, have forced players like Brandon Ingram and CJ McCollum to carry disproportionate loads. The team's inability to rely on their supposed superstar has disrupted chemistry and long-term planning, leaving them struggling to remain competitive in the Western Conference. Off the court, Zion's personal life has become an equally troubling issue. His involvement with 2 baby mamas has drawn significant attention, with both women airing their grievances publicly on social media. One of the mothers, an adult film actress, accused Zion of being dishonest and not fulfilling promises to support her and their child. The second woman, who also shares a child with Zion, expressed frustrations about his lack of responsibility and commitment to fatherhood. These issues have created a messy public narrative, undermining his credibility as a role model and adding unnecessary distractions to his already challenging career. Adding to the controversy, allegations surfaced that Zion was texting a high school girl, with rumors suggesting he might have even been dating her. While these claims remain unverified, the very implication of such behavior has raised serious concerns about his judgment and maturity. These types of allegations, whether true or not, create significant reputational damage, making it harder for Zion to focus on rebuilding trust with fans, teammates, and the organization. Additionally, Zion's attempt to shoot his shot at Instagram model Sydney Thomas added yet another layer to his off-court drama. In a now infamous exchange, Zion commented under one of her pictures saying, "Check your DM shortly." Sydney publicly responded, "Huh? Who are you calling shortly? I'm good. Enjoy your recovery," effectively rejecting him. While the post itself was later flagged as potentially fake by some sources, it still became a viral moment, adding to the growing perception that Zion struggles to maintain professionalism and respectability in his interactions. These off-court issues, coupled with his detachment from the team, have taken a toll on Zion's reputation. When the Pelicans acquired CJ McCollum, it was expected that Zion would welcome the veteran player to the roster and build a strong partnership. Instead, it was revealed that Zion didn't even contact McCollum after the trade, drawing sharp criticism from former teammate JJ Redick, who labeled him a detached teammate. For Zion Williamson, the time has come to confront the challenges that have derailed his career. Injuries, inconsistent fitness, and questions about his dedication have plagued him since entering the NBA. To turn things around, Zion must acknowledge these issues head-on. He can no longer rely solely on his raw talent. It's clear that staying at the top level requires commitment and discipline. This means accepting responsibility for his current situation. Blaming bad luck or external factors won't help him progress. Zion needs to embrace the hard truth that his weight, conditioning, and off-court habits have played a major role in his setbacks. Recognizing these realities is the first step toward change. To rebuild his career, Zion must focus on a disciplined training and recovery plan. This includes hiring experienced trainers and nutritionists to create a fitness program tailored to his needs. Consistency is key. Zion can no longer afford to go through cycles of getting in shape during the offseason, only to regress when the regular season begins. Reconnecting with his team is another critical step. Strong relationships with teammates and coaches can foster trust and improve chemistry on and off the court. Zion needs to show his commitment by actively engaging with the Pelicans organization, whether it's attending team meetings, supporting teammates during games, or simply being present. Additionally, setting realistic goals can help Zion focus. These might include aiming to play a specific number of games in the next season, or gradually improving his defensive skills and conditioning. By breaking down his comeback into achievable milestones, he can build momentum and confidence. However, the window for redemption is closing. Fans and the Pelicans organization have been patient, but patience wears thin when expectations remain unmet. If Zion can prioritize his health, dedicate himself to his craft, and recapture the fire that made him a star at Duke, he still has a chance to fulfill the immense potential everyone once saw in him. Zion Williamson's journey has been a roller coaster of incredible promise and crushing setbacks. From his rise as a generational talent to his struggles with injuries, conditioning, and commitment, his career reflects both the excitement and disappointment that comes with sky-high expectations. While his potential remains undeniable, Zion's challenges serve as a reminder of how easily talent can be overshadowed by missed opportunities. Yet redemption is still within reach if he's willing to change. If you enjoyed this video, then let us know down below along with your takes. And don't forget to watch our next video shown on screen.